Hi everyone, this is Killshot 99 Gaming. This is Play Dead Live Fight Night number 3. Oh boy, we got an action-packed card for you guys tonight. We had to push this back just a few additional minutes because we were just getting some uploads and a couple other things going on tonight. But I think this is going to be the best mix of battles and creativity and trash talk. It's been building all week long. One thing you're not going to see, we'll see them on Wednesdays, is we've been doing the bundles at the beginning, and people have been loading up on their smokes, their potions, and some of those items. Tonight, it is going to be the items that each of you have in your inventory. We will add some smokes and some other items in some future events, but I know you guys had a ton of packs this weekend and probably a little excessive inventory, so we're going to use what you got in store. So hopefully you guys had a chance to check through all your stuff. We are who's here to get this thing on? I mean, it is a epic card tonight. If you guys don't know the matches, we got Trigger versus Ocean Man. We got Moderator Muse versus Father Ron, Moonshot versus Tank, Crawfish and Gemstone, Dimes and Fireman, and B-Dub versus Bones. So I know many people were working on their gear all weekend long. If you guys are ready to Hippo's in the house, Amanda, absolutely, Samantha Coombs. You guys got a lot of people are going to watch the playback of this. So if you guys are ready to get this first match going, we're going to go straight into the main card tonight. I know usually we go with the undercard matches, but no challenge matches tonight. We are going to kick it off. I've been waiting for this one for over a week, and you guys know Ocean Man and Trigger are about to make their debut here. So we'll kick it off with a little something from Ocean Man to get you guys kind of in the mood for the scene. Here we go. And that was put together by our very own Ocean Man. We got some creative people in the house. You're going to see a whole mix of interesting shout-outs, and I'm super excited about it. Let's jump into it. So our first match of the night is Trigger versus Ocean Man. So I'm going to set the stage with everybody. Let's get this event set up. Here we go. This is, I do have an announcement, and not in this one. One of our matches tonight, somebody did drop home field advantage. So you're going to get to see home field advantage tonight and a slight edge to one of our players. So Ocean Man and Trigger, are you both in the house right now? So let me see a 999 if both of you are here. And you got your weapons, you got your armor, everything 100% ready to go. We're going to kick this thing off and get into the main event. Thank you for that, Ocean Man. Appreciate it. Where's Trigger? I know Trigger's around here somewhere. She's not going to miss this fight. With all the prep and all the hype and all the excitement. There it is, right there. All right, here we go. Let's get we're on the swamp, guys. So we're going to get our character set up. We got Trigger right around the corner there. And we got Ocean Man. Trigger, the sniper, you will get initiative. So I'm going to ask Ben, the Tin Man, if he can do me a favor. Ben is, you guys give Ben a shout out. I know he's been doing a little bit of traveling, but that is my de facto timekeeper. So Trigger, we're going to put you on the clock. You have 15 seconds. You know your items, you know your gear, and this is standard format, everybody, which means you can only use a particular item one time. So one heal smoke, one clone smoke, one thrill smoke, so on and so forth. Here we go, everybody. Trigger, 15 seconds. You are 45 yards away from Ocean Man. You are not in range first turn. 45 yards, everybody. Those of you just tuning in, if you want to get a character involved, you want to play PvP, Tune in on Wednesday night. Wednesday night, we're going to have some of the introductory players, give you a chance to roll a character. And, of course, we have our scenarios every Friday night as well. Elixir, great start. So Trigger is going to use Bless Elixir. And, Ray, are you using any type of Elixir to start out the fight? How much of the distance do you want to close, Trigger? You're about 45 yards out. 10, 15, 20. You want to get in attack range? Let me know. Remember, at the beginning of the fight, let me know if you have a Sub-Zero mask, if you're stocking any potions, and also any elixirs that you might want to use for the night. Closing in 20 yards. So this is going to cut the distance within sniper range. So Ray, you are now within 20 yards. I'm going to move Trigger to the next possible place. And Ray, you are about 25 yards out. It is now your move. Let's put Ray on the clock, 15 seconds. Once we get past this round, rounds are going to go in 10-second increments. Those of you just tuning in, slight gear check. Trigger would have a slight advantage with the gear. But as we've seen before, items, usage, all those things really, really come into play. Trigger started out with a Bless Elixir. Ray is going to go Darkness. All right, he closes the distance. Trigger. We are a complete darkness at this point. So 10-second timer for Trigger. Nothing is to be seen. Ray has moved in the darkness, and where he will turn up is anybody's guess. Darkness potion. Darkness smoke for Ray. Trigger is dropping Blinding Smoke. Well played. Blinding Smoke. The lights are back on. Ray, take 2 points of damage, and it is your turn. How effective your turn is going to be with some hampered vision is yet to be seen. Ray just took 2 big points of damage. I love Ben in the background. You think the darkness is your ally? It is about to get intense. 10 seconds for Ocean Man. Clone Smoke. All right, Trigger, 10-second timer for you. It went dark, it went bright, and now you're seeing double. There are 2 Ocean Men in front of you. Big gator creeping up from the top left. Trigger, there are 2 ocean men behind you, and there appears to be a gator to the top left. Ouch. Ouch. Ray, pick a number 1 to 6. Yeah, ouch. I don't know what to tell you, man. That was big. And on top of that, she might even have a pair of alligator shoes. Ray, you got hit awfully hard. You were hanging on by your last possible thread of life. That is a big, big grenade explosion. I mean, we're talking your clone blew up. The alligator made a nice handbag for Trigger that she'll be able to use in the future. And Ray, you're on life support. 10-second timer for Ocean Man. And I mean by the smallest of margins. Ray is dropping Heel Smoke. Heel Smoke brings back about half of it. Trigger, you have a 10-second timer. Ray is not on his deathbed yet, but he's sluggish. He's still sluggish. And she drops another Goldar grenade. And Ray, you have taken lethal damage and then some. That is 2 big back-to-back. Even with the nerf on the gold grenades, taking 6 back-to-back is big, big damage. Ray is currently out of commission. You're in a tough spot. Trigger has absolutely been calculating this one. And I don't think... Yeah, Ray, I don't think you have a res potion, so I think this might be... Yep, you do not. No, there's no chance to dodge back-to-back grenades. That is an absolute beast attack back-to-back. Yeah, that's game. So that's some firepower. Couple things I want you guys to know. One, that's 2 big grenades. Number 2, Ray is still a little lightly geared. I mean, we know he's missing several pieces of armor. He's missing a headpiece, missing shoulders, legs. So more than 60% of his body is uncovered. Big, big win for Trigger. You guys, quick shout out. Some of these matches are going to go, they're going to go quick depending on gear. Trigger getting the win. Ray will be back next week. A tough, tough matchup. But everybody here, do me a favor. Shout out for the first 2, really kicking it off, getting us underway. And I'm sure Ray is going to be back to to fight another day. So big, big win for Trigger. But we're going to see Ray in a main event card very, very soon. Yeah. And we'll talk a little bit, but even so, it's tough to play a warrior if you can't rush in and start to do some damage and get them under control. Trigger made some really good moves. Started out with a Bless Elixir, which means she couldn't be feared, she couldn't be controlled. So that automatically put her in advantage. Ray had to go Darkness Smoke, and she came right back with the Blind Smoke. Very good play. I thought she overextended herself in the beginning. As a sniper, I kind of went, I had that gasp all of a sudden, like she's getting too close. She should have stayed, 32 feet out and got a shot on him. But certainly a nice comeback there. So we're going to move on to our next match. The next match actually is we've got Moderator Muse versus Father Ron. Now, how many people have become Father Ron fans in the with the videos and some of the other things that Ron has going on? We've seen some of the trash talk. We've seen some of the shout out. Well, this week he went after our very own Moderator Muse. Where's the moderators? We need some moderator love in the house because Father Ron was he was holding nothing back here.
So Julia, you think you have what it takes to beat the Messenger of the Lord in PvP? Well, let me tell you something. Just because you dash your way out of the jungle with an orangutan and beat your opponent with a snake, that doesn't make you the next Dr. Doolittle. And just like it doesn't make you the next Dr. Doolittle, it also doesn't make you a champ. In my books, you're just a chump. And this Monday, I'm going to show you that being a muse means you're going to lose.
Big, big words. Being a muse means that you are going to lose. Julia might have something to say about that. We have got a little interesting scenario here. The messenger of the Lord is going to bring it. Hey, let me just say this, though. Julia Muse is 2-0, undefeated. One of 3 players we have right now currently undefeated. Julia, Football Master, and, of course, our very own B-Dub. So, can Dr. Doolittle bring it? Will Father Ron be able to back up those bold words? We are on Lake Michigan, everybody. There's some crazy, crazy icicles. Now, I don't know. Father Ron's maybe Father Ron's seen this before, can use this as an advantage. But we're going to set the stage here. We got the messenger of the Lord on one side of the bridge. And we've got being a muse. Means you're not going to lose, Julius. So we got a little bit of ice. Ice, baby. All right, so here's the deal. This is as much of a gear check probably as the Ocean Man Trigger match. Father Ron is a little bit more buffed, but Julia has been working on her strategies. So that is real. That is a real place. So they are both on one side of the bridge. It could get a little bit dicey. Can you jump down from the bridge without getting icy? So Father Ron has a green glyph and has the initiative to start out this match. They are exactly 35.5 feet away from each other. 35.5 yards. Just out of long distance range. Ben the Tin Man, give me a 15-second timer. The messenger of the Lord. It is your turn. And Julia is going to use a ricochet, starting it out. And Father Ron, let's see what the messenger of the Lord is loaded up with. Taking an energy elixir. So Ron is going with a little bit of extra damage. And he's got the Enrage +3 and the heal potion in the Sub-Zero mask. And just because you guys put it in the mask, it doesn't get used until you actually use it. So it won't come out of your inventory. Julia going in Rage 3 and Res in her mask. Res is instant, Julia, so you don't need to put the Res in your mask. You want to put something else in your mask. Ron, the acid rain smoke is limited. It's not going to reach 35 feet. She does have to be within that 15 to 20 yard range to get the acid rain. Smokes are mid-range attacks. Somewhere between long-distance range and hand-to-hand combat. Your smoke will absolutely work hand-to-hand combat, but not at 35 yards. But I like the sentiment. I certainly do like me some acid rain smoke. Father Ron is going darkness. Just straight up darkness. Julia Muse, you have 15 seconds. No attacks will expand beyond 30 yards unless you have an ability to go beyond 30 yards as a sniper. Ron is going darkness. And I love the usage of darkness and some of the creativity. We're starting to see some of the other items get put into play. Julia, you are 35 yards out, complete darkness. Move, jump, cartwheel, moonwalk. Nope. By default, crawfish, the attack would miss. Our players only have skills up to 30 yards. So instead of them wasting the ammo, I would rather just tell them they can't attack over that range. Oh, the darkness has her a little confused, Father Ron. I start a massive run and throw Silvar. All right, you cannot do both. The run is going to be an action. So let me be clear. If you're 50 yards out, the run to get you to that point, I see you, Julia. The run to get you to that point is not going to allow you to take 2 attacks. You guys can't fake the attack system out. So you have to be within 30 yards at the beginning of your turn. You can run and get into range. You can't launch it. If you throw it, it's going to stop short of Ron and you're going to waste the grenade. And you can't make up 35 yards in one attack. You're outside of range. You have to be within 30 yards. All right, so Julia's going to move into range. Julia, pick a number 1 to 6. It's not a question of whether or not they will reach. It's a question of whether or not they will hit. So Don't try to extend the range beyond 30 yards. If you guys want to attack at 35 yards that badly, you're going to waste the ammo and you're going to waste the attack. So, Ron, that's what you hear. Julia, take 2 points of damage. Ron, it is now your turn. Ron drops a snake basket. All right, Julia, it is now your turn. Last turn of darkness. You can. I wouldn't think you need it. You've only taken 2 points of damage. You're still pretty good shape. You're fine. I mean, it's instant anytime you need it. I think that would be... Yep. You can make a move and use a heal, but you're still in pretty good shape. And then the lights come back on. Those of you tuning in, someone cast a darkness smoke. Julia throws a control smoke. Ron, the lights come on, and you take 3 points of damage, snake damage. And that was Julia when she tried to run, falling to the level below. So Ron is on the bridge with snakes attacking him. Julia is under the bridge, controlling snakes that are attacking Ron. Julia took 2 points of fall damage when she ran in the dark. Ron has taken 3 points of snake damage. Ron, you have 10 seconds. She is below you. You have no current line of sight. I would say 20 feet, 25 feet. Ron, take another point of damage. Cold winds are coming in. The wind has picked up, caught a little bit of that ice, and just gave you a little bit of a chill. 1 point per turn from Crawfish. Ron drops his control smoke, and Julia jumps into the water, taking 2 points of damage from the ice. And apparently there are some loose boards on the bridge, Ron, according to Trigger. So Ron falls and takes another 2 points of damage. Julia falls and takes 2 as well. They were on the same level for a second, and now they're not on the same level anymore. Julia, it is now your turn. You just got controlled, and you are skating on thin ice. Julia, take 1 point of damage. The cold winds are picking up, according to Crawfish. Each of you's taking 1 point of damage. It would have been a little bit earlier. Deadly Dime says, is that Let It Go I hear? Looks like that fall was onto a smooth surface cast by Elsa. It was fairly smooth. It could have been less smooth. Julia throws a gold R grenade at Ron, and this is a big 6-point grenade. Father Ron is well geared, so you don't have to worry about it hitting an uncovered body part, but still, it hits really, really hard. It is a second most powerful grenade in the game. Julia did not take Bless, Amy. Julia took Ricochet. Trigger took Bless. Ron, you are pretty bad. That's a big grenade explosion. You are holding on. Almost at the end of your lifespan. Ron is close to lethal damage. Ron, it is your turn. Julia scores a big, big hit with the Silvar grenade. All right, Ron uses the heal potion. So if you guys don't know what the heal potion is, Ron, pick a number 1 to 6. A 1 or a 2, Ron recoups 25%. A 3 or a 4, 50%. A 5 or a 6, he recoups 100%. Good match, very good match. And good location as well. Ron rolls a 1. Oh, big, big full heal for Father Ron. Getting it right back to where we started from. That could have been a game changer right there. Father Ron has a brand new life. And Ron, it is your turn, but take 1 point of damage from the icy cold winds. You are full health for a minute. Well, it's a lake, crawfish, so it's technically not an ocean, and it is frozen. We'll see how that plays out. He wants it to be an ocean. There's a little bit of vibrating under the ice. How about that for now? Father Ron, 10 seconds. You're feeling pretty rejuvenated right now. You do have leggings on. Tin Man, give me 10 seconds for Father Ron. Oh, my bad, he did. Father Ron uses Enrage 3. My bad, Ron. I missed it. Uses Enrage 3 Wargo with AP 3 bullets. You hit. Directly beneath the armor. Julia, you take 3 of your 5 points totally under your armor. So you have been cut from 5 to 2. Trigger says, a raft appears by Julia. Deadly Dimes. Julia used to be a professional ice skater and easily maneuvers to safety. There's a fishing hole cut out. Nothing's going to attack her. She's good. She's good. I love it. Wow, that's a lot of work to get her to safety. Julia, you're safe right now. All right. So Father Ron used an Enrage, but the bullets went straight to her anyway. So armor-piercing bullets straight through. You're in really, really bad shape right now, Julia, I will tell you. The armor's fine, but you are not. One more shot like that, and it's hasta la vista. You guys should be super chatting. A healing raft comes up. She's good. She's got good footing, but she just took a big shot from a AR-15 armor-piercing bullet. Julia uses an Enrage 3. And goes Silvar. And the messenger of the Lord just became one of those sirloin tips that we saw falling from the sky last week. Ron, you took lethal damage from a Silvar grenade. Julia is on her final legs. Ron. Oh my God. Ron, it's Ron against the world. Oh man, people are hating on the messenger of a bird flies over and poops. No, but a bird flies by and prevents the 2 points of damage. Ron is rezzing. Ron, it is your turn. Julia, you do not take the 1 point of damage from the deadly winds because apparently a bird flew past you and prevented the winds from hitting you. Thank you, Gemstone, for that. Ron has rezzed. Julia is at 2 points of life under her armor. Ron is back in the battle. You know what? I'm down for it. Ron, you see a flicker of light from the lighthouse, and you think it is you think it's a sign from God, and you are semi-enraged. Wargo with an AP3 finishes off Julia Muse. Julia, you have taken lethal damage as well. Ron, big shot with a Wargo with an AP3. Straight through the armor. Armor piercing, back-to-back shots. Obliterated your entire health. If you don't res, the messenger of the Lord is taking home the victory. Julia reses, so Julia is back in action as well. Now remember, consumables can only be used one time. You can use all the bullets you want, but the smokes, the enrages, the res potions, you cannot double dip. Julia, you got 10 seconds. Messenger of the Lord and Julia, both not on their deathbed, but they're both in a little bit of trouble right now. You guys are just tuning in. Ron has used 2 armor-piercing bullets. Julia has used 2 Silvars. Grenades versus armor-piercing. Great battle going down to the wire. One bad move by either person could decide this match. Ron has slight high ground. Julia uses acid rain on the messenger of the Lord. Ron, you take 1 from the cold wind from crawfish, and you take 2 from the acid rain directly underneath your armor. Father Ron is on his final legs. You are holding on by the thinnest of margins. Father Ron, it is your go. You will die next turn from acid rain. Unless you have another variation of healing or unless you can finish the fight this turn, acid rain will kill you next turn. 10-second timer. Father Ron uses his 1 time per day healing ring and full heals back to right back where he started from. Super powerful ring. Julia Muse, you got a 10-second timer. Ron has healed. Julia, you take 1 point of damage from the cold winds. Father Ron is rejuvenated. And Julia is back on the offensive. If you guys are just tuning in, both players started on high ground. Julia uses the GAM grenade. Not quite as big as the Silvar explosion, but a pretty good explosion. You're hurting, Father Ron. Not on your deathbed, but you're reeling a little bit. Father Ron, it is now your go. You have 10 seconds. I mean, how many priests can take 3 grenades? 2 silvers and 1 gam already. And Father Ron is still holding on. Father Ron is using the Wargo with standard AR-15. Julia, pick a number 1 to 5. She's doing an armor check. She has one part of the body that is not covered. Does not pierce your armor, but you take a big, big attack from a assault rifle. You are very close to lethal damage. Julia, it is now your go. That was a big, big shot. I don't think you can survive another shot like that or anything close to it. Father Ron is a little better shape. It's going to take something amazing, but both players are still holding on. Julia's in bad shape. Father Ron is pulling through. Julia sends in Fido. Oh no. A whale pops up and hits Ron. There are no whales in Lake Michigan. None. It's a lake. You guys are killing me. I'm not going to give you a whale. I'm going to give you a seagull. Ron, you're taking a point of damage from a seagull. But more importantly, you're taking 3 points of damage from Fido. And 1 point of damage from Crawfish's Winds. Ron, you are 2 points away from death. It is now your turn. Julia and Ron are both toe-to-toe. It is Ron's attack. Ron has survived 3 grenades, cold winds, several super chats, and he and Julia are right down to the wire. 10 seconds, Ron. Fido hit him big. He had over half his life before Fido went in. Ron uses Wargo with AR-15, and he does indeed finish off Julia Muse. That is the 4th. Ron took 3 shots with grenades. Both players rezzed. Julia Muse took 4 assault rifle bullets, and Ron edged her out in the end after both. What a great match. Great matchup. Julia definitely deserving of that ranking. She came in 2-0. Some people were like, hey, you haven't went toe-to-toe with anybody. That was a battle to the finish. Father Ron edging out the victory barely. But a good match. Julia goes to 2-1. Father Ron advances to 2-1 as well. This could be a rematch in a couple weeks. This was one of the better ones that went down to the wire. And I will say, Ron slightly better geared than Julia. So she played it absolutely phenomenal. Great match play. But congrats to our very own Father Ron. Oh, boys, there's going to be a follow-up video. A religious swordfish jumps out and impales Julia. Wow. Very well done, Julia. Great job to the messenger of the Lord. But also, I think I think with those grenades, it was right place, right time. And Ron does have a little bit better gear, so good job. All right, we are going to jump into our next match. Our next match of the night, everybody, is our very own Tommy the Tank versus Moonshot. Tank, where's Jason at? Jason, I know you're up here somewhere. We are going to the jungle. Yeah, that was, I mean, it went down. Julia's like, so much fun, now I can breathe. It is intense, right? When you're in that moment, you're like massively flipping through your inventory. Those of you watching, if you want like a really good adrenaline rush, if you want to hang out and know your inventory, roll a character Wednesday night, play the game. Once you experience the gameplay, you'll understand it. But great job between those two. Julia holding on at 2-1. Father Ron advancing to 2-1 as well. We got a couple 1-1 players. Tommy the Tank versus Moonshot. And gentlemen, any pre-match elixirs, buffs? Tell me exactly what you're going to do to set this up. And then we're going to get a timer. And we're going to move into our third main event match of the night. It's one of the better ones that I've seen so far. Great super chats, great interaction, fair super chats across the board. I mean, you know, obviously I wasn't going to let Ron get attacked by a well or Julia fall into a lake, but I think it was good balance. The cold winds was a nice wrinkle to it, though. Kind of kept the match moving along. Yeah, the AP 3 bullets, you're not enraging them. So it's going to go straight through the armor. Tommy is going to bless himself. Bless elixir for the tank. And where is Moonshot? Bless means no control, no fear. Unless you unholy arrow it or unholy smoke will not remove a bless elixir. No, I'm sorry. Unholy smoke will remove a bless elixir. Been a long day. See? We're doing it as we go. This has not disappointed so far. 2 main event matches. We got to see Trigger's debut tonight. Trigger super, super geared, by the way. And when she hits ATT 10, I think she has 3 tier pieces. Ocean Man certainly jumped in. Big challenge for Ocean Man. And, of course, he fought the rematch. But certainly needs a little bit more gear for that match. Oh, you can super chat however you want. What I said is that I'm going to tone down the super chats if they are things that gravely affect the match. I'm sure there's going to be matches where there's going to be groups of people that are pulling against other people. But we're going to keep it as even as possible with those. And Rage 3 is a potion. All right. Did you, I didn't see if you hit an elixir or not, Moonshot. All right, so 15-second timer for Moonshot. Kick this thing off. Good luck, everybody. 56 yards, Moonshot. If they super chat against you, Ron, it means they fear you. Or you did something to them. One or the other. Tommy the Tank. Moonshot is moving closer behind the shed. We're still putting him at about 35 yards. Out of range for an attack. "15 seconds for you, Tommy." Moonshot, a little better gear. Good matchup. I wouldn't say it's quite even in gear, but Tommy has been scaling up in gear lately. Not as one-sided as it would have been a week ago. That's a 2-turn move, Tommy. Can't do both in the same turn. And the bats are not in range. You got to be within 30 yards to summon the bats. Well, you can summon them. They're just not going to attack. That's the advantage of that brand new summon, the Shade, is because you could keep that by your side and get a benefit and then attack whenever you want. So Tommy is going to edge closer. All right, so you are now both in range. Tommy is within range to charge the next turn. Moonshot would be in range to get a shot if he had line of sight. So Moonshot, you got 10 seconds. They want to see the abs, Tommy. There you go, Julie. Just for you. You don't have line of sight. And in fact, something dropped out of the air that hit both of you from Crawfish. Welcome to the battle, gentlemen. Each of you take 1 point of damage from United Airlines, courtesy of Crawfish. Moonshot is moving behind a tree. Tommy, your turn. 10-second timer. Hopefully we got everybody back. Nice thing with turn-based combat is if it buffers, you got a few seconds to get your bearings. So we're going to go back, reset the timer. Tommy says he's going to take a shot with Gorgo. So Tommy, to take a shot with Gorgo, we got to move you here. Tommy's buff, he's the stuff, and they can't get enough, right? So Tommy peeks around the corner, takes a shot at Moonshot with Gorgo. He hits. Nothing big. Moonshot takes a bullet. Still in good shape. 10-second timer, Moonshot. Is that Will the Bill under the tan hut in the hot tub with a mojito just chilling? Certainly is. No, that's not 2 moves. You were in range. You can move an attack if you start your attack within 30 yards. You can't be 35 yards out, move in, and then get an attack. Nothing wrong with moving and attacking. Do Tommy's abs count as ricochet armor? Asking for a friend. Well, we'll find out. Let's see if it ricochets. If we can get Moonshot's attack. Will, you might want to duck. Moonshot throws. Moonshot says, I throw my Goldar wearing my rage. Rage is implied. So Goldar grenade, it looks like this. Bye, Will. All right, Will not be joining us for the rest of this battle. Tommy, big hit. You are, yeah, you're pretty bad. Goldar hits you hard. You're close to death, but you're not dead. Tommy, 10-second timer. Yeah, Will just suffered damage before his fight even started. Hi, Emma Hot Video, come chat with me. Really? Why our stream? Wow, we attract them all, don't we? She saw Tommy's abs. we got people from porn sites popping in because they saw Tommy's abs. That's great. Well done, Ben. Well done. If Kel was here, I'd give you a kills coin. All right. Tommy, it's your turn. Your abs are shredded. Get it? But Moonshot almost, in all seriousness, he almost blew you apart there. So you're reeling. It ain't going to take much next turn. You know what? I'm not going to disagree with that, Will. Will says, best stream on YouTube. Might as well bring them all here. Yeah, we'll start over the timer. Tommy, we're all distracted by Emma's hot chat. Come chat with her, but she's gone. So let's get back to the battle. If you guys are just tuning in, Tommy is summoning bats. Moonshot, you take 2. You are bleeding. And it is now your turn. All right. As you go to throw your GAM grenade, you have a 33% chance of going blind this turn because of the bats. So you do not want to pick a 1 or a 2. You pick a 1 or a 2, we're going to talk about damage resolution. You pick a 3, 4, 5, or 6, then your grenade will go through. Guys are just tuning in. Moonshot took damage from the bats. He is bleeding, and if he gets a 1 or a 2, he has temporary blindness. So he is picking number 4. It is a 6. The grenade hits. Tommy takes lethal damage from the second grenade. Moonshot hits with a GAM grenade. Tommy does have a res potion from the weekend. It's up to you whether or not you want to use it, Tommy. You're at range. You're at a slight disadvantage. You do have the res potion. Totally your call. Tommy is rezzing. He's back in the fight. All right, Tommy, 10-second timer. Moonshot is bleeding. Did take damage from the bats. Tommy's on a 10-second timer. Res is instant. Tommy's going for a headshot. You probably want to go for a leg shot. That's the only place he doesn't have armor. He's like, yeah, shoot for my head. You hit. He's still solid. I mean, you've hit his armor. Moonshot, it is your turn. You're reeling a little bit, less than half, but you're still okay. Moonshot, it is now your turn. What'd I miss? Vincent Price? He's like, yeah, my nad. No, I don't think he was aiming there. He should have been. Tommy, pick a number 1 to 6. If it's a 6, you survive it for hitting the deck. If it's any other number, Goldar is going to send you to a very, very disgusting and terrible death. This is his second Goldar. 2 Goldars and 1 Gam. Tommy, you got a 1 in 6 chance of surviving this turn. You need to roll big. You need a 6. Otherwise, Moonshot is walking away with the victory. It is a serious 9-point grenade. Ah, I see it up there. Yeah, I totally missed it. I missed the darkness. Well, we'll catch it in the next one because there's going to be some darkness in the next one. Tommy picks a 4. I'm sorry, I'm into this battle. It is a 6. Oh, are you kidding me? Tommy survives a goal. He had a 1 in 6 chance to survive it. And my goodness gracious, he hit the deck. And it was kind of like that. Tommy holding on by a thread. And by a thread, you're almost down for the count, champ. But you did survive it. And apparently, Tommy, I don't know who this benefits or not. Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Crawfish wants there to be a little bit of darkness. And there is. As Tommy drops healing smoke. Moonshot, it is your turn. One turn. At least. 3 seconds, Moonshot. Yep. All right. Moonshot enraged this turn. Will last through next turn. Tank, it is now your turn. 10-second timer. Tommy is taking a shot. Actually, he's taking 2 grenades, 3 grenades. There's abs, man. He's rezzed. I mean, Tommy's tough. Got to be that shield, Tommy. That's fair enough. He can throw it. It's up to him if he wants to throw it. In the dark, I'm not saying it won't hit. Well, apparently the sun cut through the darkness. Solve that game problem. What's Trigger doing there? You can't be there, Trigger. Get out of our scenario. Trigger's trying to help you, Moonshot. Like, hey, 2 snipers. Father Ron prays for Tank. He's feeling enraged. Is he? Tank uses control smoke. And Moonshot, apparently you laid down for an easy shot, according to Tank. There you go. That's about as easy as it gets. All right, Tommy. Or actually, Jason, it's your turn. Tommy just used you to lay you down, but then he lost control of you after he used you to lay you down. But you are laying down. Now, you can shoot from laying down, or you can use your turn to get up. I'm trying to figure out that move. All right, let's give Moonshot a 10-second timer. You absolutely can. Yeah. Yes, you are. All right. I mean, he's got a very big shield and he's got a lot of armor. Tommy, I'm going to give you the same odds as before to see if you make it another round. Pick a 6 or this game is over. Tommy, in his abs of steel and his super strong shield, has a 1 in 6 chance to survive this round. A 6 and only a 6 will save him. This is the 4th grenade that has hit this man. 4 grenades in one night. Brand new record. We've seen 3. 2 gold, 2 gam. Will the battle end right now, or will Man Bun, Tank, McCandless survive one more round? I think he had 4. I think he had 2 gam and 2 gold. Tommy's like, get rid of the grenades already. And it is a 5. He does not survive it. Tommy needed a 2. He needed a 2. Moonshot, walking away. She call him Grenade Shot. Jason blasts his way to victory, depletes his arsenal of grenades. Moonshot moving to 2 and 1. Tank dropping to 1 and 2. Three matches in, everybody. We're ready. I heard we got a lot of talk in this next one. So I'm going to let you guys listen in on some of the back and forth that's been going on this week.
It's time. Time for the epic final battle to begin. Crawfish, I'm ready. Are you? Bring it.
Jim, your time has come. Prepare your soul. Now!
That is some intense setup we've got going on right there. Jim making her match debut, coming in versus Cardinal Crawfish. Crawfish has pulled out all the stops. Might have something diabolical planned. He usually does. And who knows? Who knows where the super chats are going to go in this particular battle. I do have to announce that tonight's match has a little bit of a home field advantage. Jim chose to drop home field advantage, which is going to be a scenario that gives her an advantage as a warrior. And we will set this up. Where do we have Jim? Home field advantage is going to be in the Coliseum, which means she will get a slight buff to her damage. In addition to a slight buff to her damage, she also is pretty close up for a warrior. So will this change Crawfish's strategy? All right, do we have any pre-match buffs from the group? Any pre-match buffs from the group? Crawfish and B-Dub, probably the two best geared players in the game. Hold on a second. Apparently, Crawfish has summoned the bounty hunter to take away Jim's home field advantage. So we are going to change the scenario. Jim chose to use home field advantage. Crawfish chose to steal it, which means there is no home field advantage. So we're going to a neutral battle, everybody. Neutral battle. The only thing I was looking to see if, Jim, you do have a bounty paid poster. If you choose to pay off the bounty hunter before he steals your home field advantage. I did notice in your inventory you do have 2 bounty paid posters, and that is exactly the purpose of those. So if you would like to make that happen, then we will go back to your home field advantage, and you can definitely have that. And both of those items are items that you got over the weekend, by the way. Because it wasn't in your inventory until you got the boxes this weekend. All right. The bounty hunter was summoned and the bounty hunter was paid by Jim. She's keeping her home field advantage. And pre-buff elixirs. Pre-buff elixirs. Ben, let's give everybody 10 seconds to buff. You are 20 yards away from each other. All attacks are fair game once this battle starts. Any smokes, any ranged, any attacks will all happen. Jim will be using Bless Elixir, Crawfish. Oh, you have... What don't you have in your inventory? probably one of each of any smoke that you'd like to use. All right, home field advantage goes to Gemstone. Gemstone, you have initiative. The first attack is yours. 15-second timer. Each player has chosen to use a Bless Elixir. They are immune to control and they are immune to fear unless some other event removes that. So 15-second timer, Jim, you are in full range for any and all attacks. Triple Dimes Potion, Red Cube, Darkness Smoke ×2, Gold Glyphs, Sockets, Acid Rain Smoke, Clone Smoke, Control Smoke, Heal Smoke, Double Dimes, Purple, Brace 4, Fangarang, Frost Arrow. It's extensive. Which grenade, Jim? Oh, Silvar Grenade. There you go. I see it. All right, Silvar Grenade. Crawfish, you are hit at range. He is still in good shape even after being hit with a Silvar Grenade. Very well geared. Crawfish, you have 15 seconds. Julie J., there's a lot that don't have grenades, but this weekend there were some that picked up. There are no barriers. You guys are both out in the open, and she gets a slight buff to her damage, and she got first attack. And you took a pretty good shot with the Silvar Grenade, but it rattled your armor a little bit. You're still in very good shape. Any type of so you're using the Cabal, any special arrow that you're using in the Cabal? I missed it. I think I only got half of the chat. All right, Unholy Arrow with the Cabal. Jim, you are no longer affected by Bless Elixir. And you take an average shot. Jim, you have a 10-second timer. Both players still in good shape health-wise, but the buff has been removed. Yeah, first one didn't show up, and then it showed up twice. I got it. All right, give me a 10-second timer. Everybody in chat, do me a favor. F5, just to make sure we're all current on the same note, because I missed a couple of the attacks. Close distance and strike with Warglaive. Bam! Sound effects. Yes, you're buffed. You got your ring +2. All your damage and all your health has been calculated. Crawfish, big shot with a Warglaive +3. Big shot with the Warglaive. You're a little shaken. Not stirred, a little shaken. Crawfish, 10-second timer. Amy, I don't know if Ben is in chat, so Amy, can you take over on the timers? All right, he goes dark. All right, we have darkness. Jim, 10 seconds for you. Jim summons bats. Crawfish, take 2. And bleed damage from the bats. It is now your turn. I got it. I have 3 people typed the same thing. I'm seeing it in real time. You guys can just keep up with the timers. We're good. I need the timers more than anything because then I can see the lag based on the timers. So, Crawfish, 10 seconds. He takes 2 damage and is bleeding. Oh, Villar just went Sound of Silence, huh? Hello, darkness, my old friend. All right, I'm going to give you the opportunity to throw the control smoke. However, you moved. So there's a 33% chance that you are not going to hit her with the control smoke. It is dark. It was your movement. You got one more turn of darkness. So a 1 or a 2, you fail with your control smoke. 3, 4, 5, and 6, you hit it in the darkness. Picking 2 for not a 2. And it is a 3. He hits in the dark. So Jim, he is successful. And you take off 2 pieces of gear. Your chest piece and your helmet are now thrown to the side. Jim, you have 10 seconds. You will not be retrieving your gear in the dark. Remember, everybody, this is type 1. In type 1, you can only use 1 of each type of item, whether it's control, darkness, all of the above. Blindness smoke. That was not her move. That was your move because you controlled her that move. Blindness turns the lights back on. And we'll get back to scenario. We'll find out where Crawfish moved to. And I'll let you know whether or not it was effective. So, Jim, your blindness smoke turned the lights back on, but did not have the effect on him because he is outside the 15-yard range. When he moved, he randomly moved away, which is up the stairs. So the lights are back on. No damage this turn. Crawfish, it is now your turn. Ron is summoning spiders. Sensing their masters in trouble, spiders arrive and bite Crawfish. He is feeling healed. Maybe feeling enraged, not healed. I'll say the spiders might have evened up the home field advantage. No, you're in firing range, not in smoke range. 25 to 30 yards right now. Save your smokes, but your firearms and your projectiles will still work. So far, we've had home field advantage, bounty hunter paid. Both players using bless elixirs. Unholy arrow removing the bless elixir. Darkness smoke. Summoning bats and control smoke. Uses the Cabal with a armor-piercing arrow. Jim, you take 3 points directly beneath your armor. Sorry, you take 2 points directly beneath your armor. The armor piercing's only +2. Your armored health is sluggish. Your real health is bad. You only have 3 points of life left underneath your armor. Jim, it is your turn. You have 10 seconds. Jim uses the Fangarang. She is within range. Crawfish, you take 2 armor piercing. Crawfish, it is your turn. 10-second timer. He is buffed higher. His real health is 7. The armor piercing did not hit him as hard as it hit you, Jim. Crawfish is throwing his Fangarang, and Jim hits you for 2 as well. You are now at 1 health. You're now at 1 health. You are on your last possible legs. You have 10-second timer, Jim. Great strategies, great back and forth. Like a chess match early on. Now we're getting to the armor-piercing piece of it. Who is going to pull this victory out? Jim is using a heal potion. Jim? With the heal potion, we are going to give you a chance to figure out how much of your health you get back. 1 or a 2, you get 25%. 3 or 4, you get 50%. 5 or 6, you will get all of your health back. You will full heal. She picks a 3. And she has full healed her base health and also her armored health. Jim is back to a base of 5 and full health. Crawfish, it is now your turn. Once again, this is standard format. Once a type of potion or smoke has been used, it cannot be used again. Crawfish throws a gam grenade. Jim, you're missing 2 pieces of armor that you removed a little bit ago. That were not retrieved. And if you guys give me 1 second, I'll tell you how we're going to resolve this. Which she had no headgear anyway. Crawfish, pick a number. 1 to 6, 50-50 chance. Pick high. 4, 5, or 6 will be the percentage of damage it goes through to her uncovered areas. She has shoulders still covered, arms still covered, legs still covered. She did not have her head covered at all, and now she's missing chest piece. She can, Julia, but it's not going to, if a strong wind blows the armor closer to her, but it's still going to take a turn for her to retrieve her armor. All right. He's high, and Jim, you have 2 body parts exposed. He hits with a grenade. Now, grenade damages have been nerfed slightly, but you take big damage to your uncovered body parts. You take 3. You're back down to 2 life. You just had 3 points of armor piercing damage. You have a 10-second timer. Oh, you could pick up your gear, but it would take your turn. You could grapple it. You could walk over and pick it up. If that's what you choose to do this turn, you absolutely can do it. It takes a turn to take it off. It takes a turn to get it back. Totally your choice. If you're keeping score, both players are a little sluggish right now. Both players have taken damage under their armor. Close the distance and hit with Gorgo. Well, let's put it back up on the screen and see what the distance is. Crawfish, you are worse than sluggish. You are not on your deathbed, but you are less than 25% of your total health. You have a 10-second timer. No damage beneath the armor because it was a Gorgo hit, was not armor piercing. So your base life is still good. Your overall life is not looking so good. Taking some pretty big hits. Crawfish goes Gorgo. Does not have to hit an unprotected body part. Jim takes lethal damage from the Gorgo. The shot is enough regardless of the armor. Jim has taken lethal damage. If she chooses not to res, the match is over. Jim does use a res potion. All right, Jim, you are back in the game, and you have a 10-second timer. Crawfish is reeling. What type of grenade? Silver grenade. That'll do it. Crawfish has taken lethal damage from the silver grenade. He mitigated 2 points of it because of his class. But the rest, the damage bonuses, and the home field advantage has either won the game or evened the game. It might, but she's not dead at the moment and you are. Res and drop fear. Crawfish reses and fears Jim. Jim, it is your turn. You have ran away in fear, out of range. And Jim is in bad shape. Jim, you're out of attack range. Now, the bees will not hit because you're out of attack range. However, if you drop the bees, they will come back and they will heal you for 2. So currently, they can only be used as a heal spell because when he feared you, he pushed you out of attack range. If you would have had the courage potion loaded in your Sub-Zero mask, you could have played it as an instant and prevented it from happening. You can certainly use it now, but you've already been feared. So it's kind of your call. You would have had to preload it and been prepared for it. We'll reset it for the question. So 5-second timer for Jim. There is a rodeo bull, and Jim has decided to control Smoke, the raging bull that has caught their attention with a singing cowboy on it. Is it going to go over and sing to Crawfish? Oh, I see it. I don't think there's that much of a lag. I think it's just taken 10 seconds for people to type their moves in. I mean, there's a good 10 to 15 second delay, but the time it's taken for people to do their moves is even longer. Everybody here, type 999. Yeah, there's a good probably 20 seconds. All right. She is sending the bull in to attack Crawfish. So Crawfish, she's sending a bull in to attack you. But the bull is not going to jump the gate. The bull is not going to jump up and run into the stands because bulls don't do that. Crawfish, take 1 point of damage as the bull passes by and runs out the exit. We'll go back to Crawfish. 10-second timer for Crawfish. He is not down in the arena. He's actually up in the stands. Crawfish is sending Fido into attack. I need a Red Bull right about now. Gemstone, you take damage from Fido and you are on the verge of dying the very next turn. You are holding on by your last couple points. You have 10-second timer. Jim is going AP3. Shotguns are not AP3. The only thing that is AP3 is the Wargo, which you do not have equipped. And in fact, I have you with the Gorgo equipped and the Warglaive equipped and the Nova Shield. I see it, but you don't have a Wargo equipped, and there's not a armor-piercing shotgun shell. And you're 35 yards. Yeah, you're going to have to move back into range. He feared you out of range. So the only way you can attack with any of those weapons is to go back into that 30-yard zone first. That was kind of his advantage of moving you out of that zone, is now you have to take a turn to move back into it. Yep, I see it. You can't use it, though. All right, that would be the distance. So Crawfish, she has got back into the range. She's probably within about 10 yards. Not effective Cabal distance, but certainly back in range. So Crawfish, 10-second timer. And absolutely. Crawfish fires an AP2 arrow. Gemstone is at AP2. I thought the Fangarang was going to hit a couple turns ago, which would have ended it quicker. But, Jim, you do take your last AP arrow, which penetrates your armor, and you had 2 true health left. And arrows are retrieved. So, yeah, it could have finished about 3 rounds ago when Jim was down at 2 total health. The Fangarang could have won it then, before the fear and all the other stuff. But both players have rezzed, and that is the end of the battle. Very, very long strategic battle. A lot of back and forth in that match. And I think there was some lag in the middle of it, too, that might have caused a little bit of confusion. So, Crawfish does edge out the victory. Very well done, Jim. For her first match, lot of good strategy. Especially early on. Jim had some good moves there with summoning the bats. I think the bats, even though it was darkness. So great matches. I'm going to throw this out there. You know, we did this last week, and we've run 4 main event matches tonight. And yes.
Here! Your soul is mine.
Yes, we do have the finishing move up there on the screen. So I'm going to ask B-Dub and Amy and Will and Tammy if they would be willing to postpone their match until Wednesday night. Totally up to them. We had a couple players tonight. There's a little bit of a learning curve. But I do want to give them the opportunity if they want a couple extra days. That would also give everybody tomorrow to go through a complete inventory stream. Anybody that would want to volunteer to push those matches back to Wednesday night. We made pretty good time last Wednesday. But I'll let all 4 remaining players. We got Deadly Dimes and Fireman and B-Dub and Bones. All right. Bonnie says good, and Amy says she needs to get some rest as well. So that's 2. If we get Will and Dimes to agree to go Wednesday, then we'll call it a night at 4 main event fights. I think 4 is probably going to be our limit with main events. Will says he's ready. Will, it's your call. Totally your call, Will the Bill. So Amy and Bonnie are going to push back. That's going to be a main event Wednesday night. There's going to be a big main event Wednesday night. And everybody kind of be fresh and ready to go. If Will wants to do it tonight, we'll take a quick break. We'll have a quick Red Bull, and we'll come back to it. That's a good point. Can anybody? Will, your call. You want to do it? We'll do it. All right, Will said let's go. Well, here you go, everybody. We're going to take a quick minute break, and we'll play this commercial message.
Okay, Will the Billboard. Fair enough, I'll give you that. I called you out, and you called me back, but you're a robocall. Now watch me block and delete you, but not before I go a cappella and treat you. My name is Deadly Dimes, they call me that for a reason. While you're out picking oranges, man, I'm already juicing. Just ask Norris and Moonshot how I bring on the money. Those change, those are dollars over there, honey. Rest in peace, Will the Bill, next to Fire and Iron Man. You think you're taking the belt, you got another thing coming, and I'll see you tonight where the dimes will be raining. And I don't mean like water, I mean I'll be taking them.
Nothing but love, Dimes. Oh, and I love the rhyme. How you diss a fireman, but he's gone, dead, like the Iron Man. So confused on the main event card name. It's Will the Bill. Remember my name. I'm pro with blown smoke to create an illusion, or you're gonna regret stepping into 4+3. Now any bad roll. The one on the left ain't me. 1 grade, 2 grade, 3 grade, 4. I will deplete your inventory so you'll know more. And if you manage to rise from the dead, you best travel down, think ahead. Remember what I said. Dropping bombs like Hussein, hitting hard like Luke Cage. I'm the billboard, baby. Pop dimes like loose chain.
And there it is. There's the message. Will the Bill says he is dropping dimes like loose change. So we got a match. I was hyped up for this one all week long. Deadly Dimes and Will the Bill pretty even as far as gear goes. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let's set the stage for everybody for this epic matchup. While you guys are watching the end of that, we've got something from, well, we're going Backstreet, everybody. I'm going to set this up, show you exactly where it is. This is going to be a little bit quicker than most of the matches. We got Will the Bill hanging out over here in the window. We got Deadly Dimes hanging here on the front stair. Dropping dimes like Luke Cage. All right, everybody. Get ready for this matchup. Any pre-match buffs, setups, anything that you guys want to do to prepare for this match. And then this is going to be much closer range. There's not a whole lot of places to run here. So once we get any elixirs, any buffs, anything along those lines, we're going to start this fight out. I don't have a finishing video for you, Ron. The only one I have was the previous one. If you sent it to me, I don't have it. That's all the ones I have loaded. The Dr. Doolittle. Will is going Energy Elixir. Energy Elixir and Deadly Dimes. Mask with Dot Remover and Heal Potions. Revive and See Weakness. Very nice. Yeah, I got the one where you did the Dr. Doolittle call out. That's the only one I had. Dimes, the last question is, any elixirs to start out the fight? Oh, I'm sorry, you said it. Bless Elixir, my bad. I completely missed it. Okay, before we get started, does either player have a green glyph? Either player with a green glyph, let me know right now. Deadly Dimes does have a green glyph on her chest piece. So Deadly Dimes, you have initiative. You do not need to put a res potion in your mask. It's a waste of a mask slot. You could put 2 other potions in there. Res potions happen instantaneously. So don't waste a Grady's res potion in your mask. Gina Crockett says Dimes is heading down a one-way street for the win. Interesting. That last match is going to be hard to follow up. There's been some really good matches tonight, but there's been a lot of hype around this one. And I'm kind of glad that B-Dub and Amy is a main event for Wednesday, because that kind of needs its own night as well. All right. Amy, can you give me a 15-second timer for Deadly Dimes? Deadly Dimes, you will start this battle 40 yards apart and a corner surrounding you. 40 yards. 30 yards one way, 10 yards around the corner. 5 more seconds for Dimes. She bolts over to the corner and stays out of line of sight. Remember, nothing is perfect with distance, but you stop a little short of the corner. Will, 15-second timer. She is about 18 yards away, but there is line of sight. You can't see her, but you heard her. 15 seconds. That was kind of stealthy. I'll give you that. Spark Ring and Dynamite. Will bringing out the Dynamite early in the battle. Y'all forgot about Dre, didn't you? Oh, it's a nice explosion. Dimes, you were hit, and you're sizzling a little bit. We haven't seen the Dynamite in a little while. And pretty loud, too. A little bit of ringing in your ears. Dimes, 10-second timer. You took damage first turn. Some. Not enough that it's going to impact you in a major way yet. She's running in with Gorgo. Not wasting any time, Will. Dimes, as you're running, you see Snooky walking by and ask you, what are you doing here? And you still go and aim for the neck. Will is missing several pieces of armor, but nothing with the Gorgo is going to do lethal damage. You hit him. Will, you take some damage. You're still in pretty good shape. I would say it's fairly even so far. Dynamite blasting around the corner and someone charging in with a Gorgo bayonet. Will, it is your turn. 10-second timer, Will. I absolutely don't have that in my clip art. I'm going to try to incorporate it. There's only You know what? My clip art game's gonna be strong Wednesday night. You guys wait and see. Tonight I was under the gun because you guys had so much. I'm so much inventory. I mean, Monday's gonna be a little bit tough. Will drops Fido. I don't even have Fido in my inventory this week. Dimes, you get a little bit of a knockback there. Fido does a few points of damage. Ten-second timer, Dimes. You're sluggish. You're not in any danger yet, but you're certainly feeling the effects of a spark of dynamite and also Fido on the attack. I'm not even entertaining that one tonight. What type of grenade is that? I don't know if 5-0 is going to come anywhere near the artillery in this battle. But this is kind of an important changing of the guard here once we figure out what type of grenade this is. Oh, that's the holiday grenade. Those were special edition that only came out in the packs for the Christmas pack opening. It does light you up like a Christmas tree. Will, you take pretty good damage, and check this out. Knocks him down out of the window. Will, you're less than 33%. Took a big hit from that grenade. You have 10-second timer, Will. It does light him up like a Christmas tree. That was a pretty big hit. This is probably the most even matchup that we've had all night long. So it's going to go fast, but it's still going to be very good. Will revives, goes back to full health, and summons bats. Dimes. You take a big hit from the bats. You are bleeding, and it is now your turn. You get 2 turns in a row, Dimes. The revive potion will full health, full heals, but loses his next turn. 10-second timer for Dimes. All right, Dimes drops Control Smoke. Dimes drops Control Smoke. She requests that Will remove the armor that he is wearing. And he is wearing chest piece and arms. So Will is armorless. Will, you remove your armor and throw it down. Dimes, as you go to attack, you notice there's a police car. What the heck is a police car doing here? Why did Crawfish summon a police car? You missed your turn. Will, it is now your turn. You are wearing no armor. Dimes was stunned for a turn. And we are back to even all over again. Except you have no armor. 10-second timer for Will. Will goes AP2 arrow. Will does direct damage, ignores her armor. Dimes, your base health is cut from 5 to 3. All right, Dimes, you're on the clock. Will still has no armor. Oh my goodness, this is like all kind of anti-Dimes chats. It's piling. Oh man, what is going on here? Stray dogs come around the corner. Black oil poured out the window on Tammy. We're going to have to sort all this out. The iris ring avoided the damage, Will. Her iris ring takes place once per day. She completely avoided it. Now I got to figure out. There is a dog that came around the corner. Dimes. You take 1 point of damage from a stray dog. Oil has been poured out the window and this whole place is on fire. Because of the fire, both Dimes and Will run around the corner to keep from getting burned. That was some serious attacking there. So Dimes, it is now your turn. She avoided the damage from Will with her iris ring. She throws another grenade, and due to the proximity of the grenade, Will gets hit. Dimes takes a little bit of kickback. Both players are extremely low right now. The fire, the grenades, the grenade, the kickback. Will has went through a revive potion. Got some of his health back. Dimes is hit with a couple arrows. The building is catching fire. Each player take 1 point of damage. Will, it is your turn. You are both extremely low right now. There is oil. The building is about to crumble. There's nowhere to go. If this fight does not end soon, both players are going to continue to take damage. Why is Will so small? Sorry, Will. There you go. Got to get Will back in the game here. Hug the corner, and Will is tossing more dynamite. Will tosses dynamite, and it hits Dimes, and it is an old, dilapidated, burning building. Will, pick a number. 1 to 6. Six. Dimes, you take lethal damage from the dynamite. Dimes reses and charges in with Gorgo. Will, you take lethal damage from Gorgo because you have no armor. Will just defeated Dimes. Dimes reses from the depth, charges Will, who has no armor, and does lethal damage against Will. Will reses, and I'm going to show you the position. Both players are back to life. Both players are still hanging on. As Ric Flair pulls up in a limousine and asks either one if they want a trip to Space Mountain, and they both decline because this battle is going down to the wire. Each player has died. Both players are hanging on. A great strategy in close hand-to-hand combat range. Will the Bill, you have 10 seconds. You just rezzed. Will goes Raven Bow, Unholy Arrow. He hits hard. Dimes, your Bless Elixir is now ineffective. Dimes, you have a 10-second timer. And a little bit of range on Will. Oh, Ric Flair didn't leave yet. He's interested in the ending of this match. Dimes, 10 seconds. You just got hit with an Unholy Arrow. That's a dangerous area over there where Will is. That's where Ron poured the oil out of the window. Building is on fire. Each player take 1 point of damage from the fire. Dimes, you're barely hanging on. Will, you're a little better. Dimes goes Darkness Smoke. Will, it is your turn. Dimes, hold on. Dimes goes Darkness Smoke. Dimes, I'm going to give you a roll. 1 to 2, 25%. 3 to 4, 50%. 5 to 6, 100% of your health back. $15 to $20 yards, Will. Dimes picks a 3. 100% of her health. 100% back with the healing potion. Nice roll. All right, Will. Dimes has healed. We are in the darkness. Each player take 2 points of damage from the burning building. It does not. That was her Sub-Zero mask with her potion loaded, which was an instant cast. Will goes Control Smoke now that she doesn't have a Blessed Elixir. And Dimes removes 2 pieces of her armor. Dimes, 10-second timer. Will is shaken. Still dark for one more round. Control Smoke in the dark here is a pretty good play because there really is no place to run. Dimes goes Unholy Smoke. And the darkness dissipates. Will, it is your turn. Each player, great strategies, good back and forth. Both players are hurting right now. Both players take 2 points of damage. Dimes, pick a number 1 to 6. You want a 4, 5, or a 6. 4, 5, or a 6. No, the Unholy Smoke cannot undo a move that already happened. His control happened. He controlled you, and then the next turn, after you got back control, you can't cast a smoke if you don't have control of your character. Once an action resolves, you can't go back and undo that action. 2. It is a 3. She takes damage directly with no armor. Dimes. You are down to 2 unprotected. It is now your turn. Will is on his heels with no armor. You are on your heels with a couple pieces of armor. Both players extremely sluggish. It is going down to the wire. His hit caused a knockback. So Dimes, as he charged you, knockback with the Gorgo. You got a 10-second timer. Will is aching. Dimes is aching. Both players have rezzed. We are down to the wire. So Dimes, you're going to charge back in for the 3rd time. I need to confirm that. Dimes, pick a number 1 to 6, and it needs to be a 5 or 6. They are 2 different heal spells, Will. Tammy picks a 4. And it is a 6. And Will, same rules apply. It needs to be a 5 or a 6. And I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. Dimes picked a natural 6. Will picks a 2. And it is a 2. Will takes lethal damage from the burning building. Dimes avoided it with a 6. So although Tammy did not get the killing blow, both players would have died that turn due to the collapsing building damage, because they kept charging in time after time. Dimes gets the battle because she was able to get the 6 and to avoid the fire damage. Dimes edging out the victory at the very, very end. Good match. Good fight. Back and forth. Both players had chances to finish off the match early on. Some key mistakes were made there. A couple of times you guys were on the right track and then just got completely off your game. But certainly the fire, the oil, it was starting to add up. It was ticking away at you guys every single turn. Great battle back and forth. Close down to the wire. One more hit, Dimes was done. It was down to the very edge that you guys were both taking damage at the beginning of every turn. The building was going to. She got a 6 and edged out the victory. So great. Oh no. Oh no, she didn't, Will. She said, if you were still the fireman, you would have known to stay away. Oh no, that's wrong. Great match. So if you guys are just tuning in, we had a couple gear checks early on. Ray ran into Trigger, super geared. She got the advantage right from the start. Never really slowed down. That was never in doubt. Great match. Maybe we'll see Ray match up with something that's a little bit more even geared. Then we had Julia Muse and Father Ron. Julia really stepping up to the plate tonight. Father Ron, certainly stronger geared. Julia went just straight grenade mode and almost pulled out an upset victory. That was probably our closest match of the night. Moonshot and Tank. Moonshot edged out Tank. Same thing, several golden grenades. Tank set a record for most grenade shots taken. He took 4 grenade shots. Crawfish and Gemstone. What a match. Gemstone, brand new to the game. No doubt about it. She's here to stay. But took all Crawfish had to edge out the victory against Gemstone. A lot of reses tonight. You guys can see the balance of the gear. But just tonight, we saw with Father Ron and Julia Muse, resing in that match, Moonshot and Tank, Crawfish and Jim, and then, of course, this one going down to the wire. Close match, and close together as well. So what do you guys think? Different strategies for long distance, home field advantage. Jim also had a nice advantage with home field advantage as well. She was hitting Crawfish a little harder than he was used to being hit. This is 2 weeks in a row someone's tried to play home field advantage on Crawfish. This time it actually went through, but Jim not quite able to get the victory. But there is Wednesday night, and if you guys don't know what's going down Wednesday night, we got B-Dub and Amy Bones Ferrero. We're going to get a couple challenge matches in early. It will not be as long as tonight. I'm going to take a look at the schedules, and one thing that I would ask you guys is, tonight there were several. I know we had a little bit of lag, but there were several rule checks, and I'm going to hold you guys more closely to the 15-second timers, because there are a lot of times tonight where a question was asked that wasn't really a question. There were a couple certainly that we had to go back and correct. But on this 15-second timers, we'd get 10 seconds in and someone would ask a question, and it's another 15 seconds. And before you know it, it's a minute and a half for someone to take a turn. So we need to increase the speed of combat. So I'm going to count on you guys to just kind of push right along. If it's something close, then we'll check it. Otherwise, just play your character and don't worry about all the noise and distractions. So I want to thank you guys for being here. Great night of PvP. It did not disappoint. Do me a favor, everybody. How about a quick shout out for all the people that played tonight? We had Dimes, Fireman Finney. We had Trigger. We had Ocean Man, Moonshot, Tank, Crawfish, Gemstone, and Moderator Muse and Father Ron. Great job to everybody. I will be back at 6 o'clock tomorrow. So if you guys have your gear, you want to get rid of some gear, you want to liquidate some inventory, tomorrow at 6 o'clock is going to be the time to do that. And then, of course, Wednesday night is going to be kind of some fun, casual gameplay in the beginning. And then we are going to ramp it up for that really good main event match. Will the Bill, great job to all players. It was fun throwing dynamite at you, Dimes. Crispy Dimes. Will, I think what got you was the armor. the armor got you, taking all that damage with no armor. So you got to get some leggings. Somebody give Will some leggings, please. All right, everybody. We've been going strong since 6 o'clock, and I'm going to sign out. I look forward to seeing all of you guys tomorrow night. Think about your strategies. Don't dwell on it too much. It's early in the season. People are going to lose. So think about what you're going to do differently next time. Think about the pieces of gear that you might need that could make a difference, and whether or not you're playing your character. If you're playing a warrior and you're ranged, you're probably not playing the warrior the way you should be playing it. If you're a warrior and you're not in there attacking, you're missing some big damage. And if you're a sniper and you're trying to go hand to hand, then you're missing out on some big damage. So thanks to everybody. Appreciate everything that you guys do. I will see you all tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Peace.